of the race. We've lost it. Yeah, we've lost it. Maybe. Oh, he's had a horrible crash. And yeah, the haptic feedback is gone again on my brakes. I don't know what has happened, but we were losing the haptics, and now we've lost the game audio. I mean, we're 65 minutes into this race. We have to finish it. Hey everyone, this is Wet Slicks. We're back on TT Isle of Man Riding the Edge 3, and the day has arrived. This is the big one. The TT event for the Supersports is here. Today we have 4 laps. The weather is looking good. 17 other competitors. Kind of top 10 would be wonderful today, considering the bike that we're on and the time we've been having recently. Qualified all the way down in 15th, I had thought, but apparently we will be going off 3rd, which makes more sense, probably, because I think that's where Ian Hutchinson would have gone off in real life had he done the TT in 2022, which I don't believe he did. We have not managed to upgrade the bike to the maximum, which is really hurting us. I think particularly on the chassis and fairing. We're struggling. We are struggling for pace. We are struggling compared to a lot of the other bikes. I had put it down to originally the physics settings, but I think the bike is slow, and I think we're going to really struggle here. I think on intermediate physics settings we would have been a lot closer to the front, but with the switch to realistic, it's kind of hurt our lap times as well. Haven't been able to push quite as hard as we were able to before, but here we go. This is what we've been building up to the whole time. I'm going to treat this first lap, I think, just as a bit of a warm-up, and we'll see whether we can push a little bit harder as we go on. And we are going to have to do a pit stop as well, so that is something that we're going to have to find time for at some point and remember to come in. But here we go. This is the beginning. As the green light goes off there, we get the tap on the shoulder, and we are off down Glencrutchery Road for the first time of asking, and down Bray Hill then, up to 6th gear. We know this course so well by now, but we just want to keep it clean. As I said, we're going to treat this first lap as a bit of a warm-up, not go super hard, but we just want a clean lap here, especially this first one. If we can get a good clean first lap, that is going to put us in good stead for the rest of the race today. We get through that first corner, it's always a little bit nervous there. Oh, massive stoppy, bike wobbling about there as we come into Braddon Bridge. Kind of have to take that as a bit of a 2-stage corner, that. Just normally braking a little bit more for the second bit just to get the bike through nicely. We'll see, there were 2 riders ahead of us, and I completely forgot to look who it was. I'm pretty sure John McGuinness was the first rider out on the course, and I don't know who was second, as we struggled to find the grip there. That was awful through Union Mills, and that was going to hurt us on the exit up through here. Coming up to Balagary. Getting up to near the top speed of the bike, this section. I guess it would be, I'll try and concentrate for this corner. What's his name? The very fast guy on the Kawasaki is Dean Harrison, I believe, was going off second. I think it would have been. And he should be very quick in front of us, especially for this first section where it is very top speed dependent. Not doing too bad so far. I always think this live rankings on the top right is a little bit bugged, because I have definitely finished in a very different position sometimes to what has been displayed up there. But if we take that as gospel right now, we would be in the lead, which isn't too bad. But we just want to keep it clean. I just need to keep reminding myself, this first lap of the day, actually, for myself, and it's a warm-up. I did quite a few laps yesterday when we did qualifying, and then just sort of practicing for the proper event. We're trying desperately to get the bike turns there, and it's struggled. And slowing down here for this left-hander. Nice and easy through here. Much more about the exits than it is the entries to these corners. Doesn't matter if you fluff up the entry too much, as long as you get the grip and the traction on the exit. We're going to take it down to 5th gear here for this corner. You can definitely do that in 6th, but just trying to be safe for the moment. Feel like we're in the mix right now as we get through section 1. Bike stopping again, desperately trying to get it slowed down for Balacrane. We're through there. And I'm not aware, maybe someone can correct me. Hopefully I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong on this, but I don't believe anyone else has done this on YouTube or anywhere else where they've done a video on them doing the entirety of the race. We've lost it already lost it. That corner is really tricky on realistic physics. Intermediate, you can just sort of take the gearing down, let the engine brake do the work, but if you're already going out wide, very difficult to save it. So we've tumbled down the order there, but I feel like the AI aren't as OP. Oh, as I've completely forgotten what corner we were on. Very lucky to save that. Dean Harrison's had a crash ahead of us, so we've just crashed and Dean Harrison's crashed as well. There is all sorts of drama happening early on this full TT event. Oh, struggling with the traction there. Traction control just about kicking in time. Oh, the bike's feeling not the most stable. This was something that I realized is hurting us on this particular bike. Not being fully upgraded with the fairing and chassis has meant that our front stability, or rear stability, which should be at 100%, is about 35%. We're gone a little bit wide there, coming into that right-hand kink at the end of the contour body straight. Take it down another couple of gears. Dean Harrison going quite slowly through there. Bodes well for us because he's normally one of the faster AI as well. We might even get a run on him here. This corner by the wall I always struggle with. I find it really difficult. I've seen so many other people online getting that corner. We got to take Dean Harrison here. Oh my god. No. Oh. That was quite something. We tried to go for a move there and we were side by side for much longer than I would have liked to have been. And I'll tell you what, at least it's been... I needed to slow down there. Slow down a little bit more for that corner there. The bottom of the Garrow is so treacherous, especially on the realistic physics. You really need to be a bit more cautious into there. Hopefully we can catch Dean Harrison up, because we almost overtook him there for a moment. Now, I feel like we're doing okay today. Actually, it's not as bad as I had thought. You know, from qualifying all the way down in 14th or 15th out of 17 riders, setting a lap time that was, you know, almost 18 minutes, which is the slowest I've done in a very long time. And I think what the worst thing about the qualifying was that I felt like it was a really good lap. I felt like I was pushing. We only crashed once. Didn't make too many mistakes as we come through Kurt Michael here. That was quite nice on the exit over the jump. And yeah, we caught Dean Harrison up again by the looks of it. Maybe he had another issue there. If not a crash, maybe a bit of a wobble. Tight on the apexes through there. Just backing off a little bit. We don't need to be setting world records today. and actually, if anything, from the looks of the AI, we could back off a little bit more and still be in the mix. As I said, I want to be top 10, saying we're 6th at the moment, but as I mentioned, I don't necessarily trust that completely. As we brake here into Balak, over the bridge, nice and straight on the jump, try and get a good exit. And we'll see if we can get Dean Harrison somewhere, maybe down the Solby Straight, which is coming up. Around this corner, a little jump to the top. And we are coming up to the Solby Straight in the moment. We're not going to catch Harrison down the Solby Straight, actually, I've realised, because he is on on the Kawasaki, and this Yamaha's top speed is maybe about 8 miles an hour slower, so he should gain a bit more of his lead, eke out a bit more of a lead on us here. As we're down the Solby Straight, fastest part of the TT course, and we're already halfway through lap 1. Breaking there just before the flag. I've found now, this being, again, trying to be a bit cautious. But you know what, I'm enjoying this so far. This has been fun after our sort of disastrous run of races and qualifyings recently. A bit wide there. I was despairing a little bit. I think, you know, going from intermediate to realistic physics has been a bit of a struggle. This bike is not my favorite. I was trying to set myself a bit of a challenge by using the Yamaha R6 because I know it's, for me, certainly not the fastest bike. If anything, it's the slowest. And I think it would have been a great challenge had we stuck to intermediate physics. I think being on realistic has made this a much tougher challenge now. We were struggling towards the back of the pack instead of at the front. The AI is always a little bit slower through here by the K-tree, and we can see on the minimap John McGuinness in front of us there as well. But we need to be a touch more careful through here than perhaps I've been in the past, because it gets a little bit bumpy there. It didn't look like it that time through, but we've lost the bike there a few times. The last couple of times we've been through here in realistic settings, taking a bit of speed through here so we can try and accelerate. And then on intermediate physics, you can just power through this corner easily. But realistic, you have to be a touch more careful on that right-hander. And then we're into this little straight here. Looks like, oh, and I've missed my braking point. Testing the suspension on the exit there a little bit. And then braking hard into Parliament Square here. And using the engine brake a lot as well. Looks like someone might have had a crash there. Could have been, yeah, John McGuinness is, I mean, Dean Harrison is right there with John McGuinness now. We can hope that John gives Dino a hell of a time here and slows him up so we can maybe catch up to him. At the moment we're just sort of maintaining position. Braking here into Ramsey now. This is another point where the AI very often crash there in Ramsey. Up to 4th gear around this right-hander, and then there's 2 horrible little right-handers here that I hate so much, especially this one. So cautious around there. We've almost fluffed it on the exit. Might have just got about away with that. Bit aggressive there. I was trying to kind of save that. We didn't quite get the line that we wanted through there. As we're coming up to the gooseneck now, and then we will get into the mountain, which, if you can, yeah, we've lost it. Lost it there coming into the gooseneck. I was leaning and braking again. But we're not doing too bad. It seems like we may have maintained 6th position. Dino and John McGuinness ahead of us, still kind of going at it, those two. Very experienced and very fast riders, but it looks like one of them's had a crash here. ahead of us, and I am focusing on that a bit too much and not on what I need to be looking at, which was my entry and exit points of the next corner. I wonder if that was John or whether that's Dino that's gone down there, but it is encouraging to see that the AI are also struggling here today, that it's not just me that's had a few crashes. It's going to be interesting to see how the pit stops go here as well. I haven't done a pit stop in this game in a very, very long time. So look for a good exit here onto the mountain mile. We've just dropped back to 7th in the provisional rankings that I don't necessarily trust, but we do want to keep an eye on them. Fuel, and we're also going to want to pay attention to tyres, and this is another factor that I haven't looked at in a very, very long time. I can't remember the last race where tyre wear started to be an issue, which is shown there on the bottom right next to the speedometer. The green bars start to turn yellow, or if you've done a lot of laps, red. Nice to get through there cleanly. This is normally a pretty fast section for me. Right-hander, get this next right-hander lined up nicely as well. Maybe drop a gear, fast through there, get the traction. Don't want to test the suspension too much on this corner, as we've discovered. But we are definitely catching the rider in front here. Not too wide on this exit. You don't want to get into the lay-by there because it is bumpy and off camber, and it'll take you off down the mountain at quite a rate. And this corner just dropping down to 4th as well. Skittering through there as we come up to the bungalow, backing off a little bit somewhere around here, just gradually taking the speed off. Bungalow is always a bit tighter than you think, but the exit opens up really nicely. Again, just a little bit more here. Try and do well as this. I very often get the exit there. End up going onto the gravel. Some of these can be the same as we've regained 6th position, it looks like. That felt quite fast through there. That was quite nice. This sign is braking. Oh, a little bit of a stoppy there. That felt quite fast as well. Wasn't the cleanest of first laps, and it certainly wasn't a warm-up lap, I didn't feel like as well. That I was kind of planning to do, but that's okay. A bit more speed off there. Can definitely take the bike wider out on that exit. Into Keppelgate here, into 2nd gear. Yeah, nice exit here as well. And that one, super important to not crash here because this section is so fast. Some of the lower speed sections you're kind of okay, but dropping the gears, wheeling a little bit again, keep the bike stable. Scratching the road, tiny bit there with the fairing. That's okay, that'll polish out. And off down Craignabar, one of the best places to watch from on the TT, of course, very famous for that. I'm looking for this tree on the right to drop a gear. And through. We were risking it a little bit there. Back up to 6th gear, avoid the left side of the road, it's a bit too bumpy there, looking for the bridge down here, and then brake by. You can definitely do this in 5th, but we're going to do it in 4th today. Not risking too much. I'm very impressed with the AI, they've been very, very good actually, and they're not as OP as they were the other day. And they have made a few mistakes coming up to signpost here, getting the bike slowed down. Getting it through there nicely. Don't need to risk anything on this first lap. This corner always takes me wide. And then braking, just it out there. Trying to brake early. Oh, we've lost it. Again. And that wasn't really where I thought I was going to lose it. Maybe down here by the nook, but I don't think it's hurt us too much. Again, it's one of those slower sections you can afford to lose a little bit of time here. And this is often another crash hotspot for the AI. Hopefully not for us. Yeah. It's so hard to control the bike through there. You just feel like you're inching through it and you still just, you hit the wall and you're off. But there we are, there it is. First lap completed here at the TT. It is slow. It is an 18-minute 22. That's even slower, quite a bit slower actually than our qualifying lap. We go head down the road and down Grey Hill for the second time. It may well be that this lap we would come in for our pit stop. I think you don't have to actually, and I mean fuel-wise, it looks like we could get away without doing a pit stop at all. To be fair, so we'll keep an eye on that. I think the Superbike races with 6 laps, the pit stop is very much mandatory, but this race we might get away with it as we come into Dragon Bridge. So what was that? 3 crashes maybe on the first lap? Or 3 or 4. Either way, we're going to try and have a cleaner second lap here. 18 minutes 20 seconds is a very slow lap indeed for me, but oh, try and get the bike slowed down. Come on bike, come on Yamaha, what are you doing? Yeah, the Yamaha is just doesn't have a particularly good feeling, I think, for me, and it's just slow, especially not fully upgraded as this one is showing us today. It's not even like the engine or transmission isn't fully upgraded, or the tyres or something. It's something that would give us a lot of speed, but I think it was maybe the fairing would have given us a little bit more aerodynamicism or something of that nature. Don't know if that's really a word, but there we go. I'm looking for a better lap this time around. Very, very fast left-hander here. Very, very decent through there. Much better than the first lap, I think. To come up to the top of Crosby Jump. That must be absolutely terrifying to leap into the unknown right at the top of the hill, 180, 190 miles an hour on some of these bikes. Another gear. A bit more cautious on this left-right. We know this course so well now. And someone's had another problem, maybe both of them, because we have gained so much time on Dean Harrison and John McGuinness there, and it could pose a bit of a problem for us, because do we try and get past here coming into Hawthorne? We are going to go toe to toe with Dean Harrison through there, and he's gone off a bit wide. I don't know if he's crashed there or whether he's just had a bit of a wobble, but he had a very slow time of it, and we are catching the main man, John McGuinness, the absolute legend of the TT. And we are noticing already a bit of tyre wear here today, as our back wheel is being asked to do a lot of heavy lifting. Oh, we got a bit wide there. Oh, I really didn't think we were going to pick up the grip we needed. And this is the first crash we had, the first lap, if you remember. So we're going to be nice and cautious through here. Stay in second gear, although that sounds horrible on the rev limiter. We're going to try and catch John. Maybe... Oh, he's had a horrible crash. Oh my goodness. Up onto the rocks there, and I mean that would have been an absolutely horrendous crash. I don't know what he was doing. He just Looked like he rammed straight into those rocks. Wow, what a thing to happen right in front of you, but the show must go on. The lap bridge is coming up in a moment. We drop 3 gears and take this right-hander. Oh no! I don't know how we're still on the bike. I don't know how we did that. We were all over the pavement. We were almost into a tree. But we are still going as we come into Kurt Michael now. Dropping another 3 gears down here. Oh, and the traction wasn't giving us the traction there. I wonder if that's the tyres starting to complain with the grip. Levels dropping away from us here. These tyres are probably going to have to be with us until the end of the race. I don't think we're going to be doing a pit stop with our current levels of fuel usage. Narrowly avoiding the wall there. We are all over the place here in the middle of our second lap, but somehow making it work and making up time up into 5th place, it looks like now, on the provisional timings. That felt quite quick through there, a little bit faster than the first lap for sure. Trying to get a nice line through here so you don't hit the curbs and you can stay in 6th, dropping it to 5th. And that's normally an intermediate physics, so I was so confident to just flick the bike through there, flick up the back wheel and get the bike through, but less so now on realistic. Braking heavily now. Now we're into the lap, over the bridge, nice and planted, avoid the walls, good exit. And the front wheel is also just starting to feel the degradation. There, the middle strip of that is beginning to go. I would love to know what that actually does, like how much less grip we now have from the middle of the tyre and how it calculates that in game. It's very, very interesting to know. I remember from Rims Racing, they were very, very detailed, the developers, in the physics and how they put the bike together. Quite a good exit through Quarry Bends there. Pretty happy with that. Up into 6th gear as we get into the Solby Straight once again. Taking a little left-hand kink, and now we're onto the straight proper, past this building and the church there. I guess that would be the town of Solby, or little village, whatever it is. We are up to the max speed of this bike. It's going to be about 176 miles an hour. And backing off there, braking heavily again, trying not to get that back wheel up too much. And it looks like we could even be up into 4th right now. We've had a pretty good second lap so far. A little bit more here. Nice and planted. There's a little bump there and you just have to be a little bit cautious of it. I have fallen off there. With the change to realistic physics settings now, you have to be so careful that you have to know every single bump on this 37 3/4 miles of tarmac. Drop it to 3rd gear, braking, taking it out wide, and then tight on the apex. That was good, and we're going to gain some more time here if we don't crash on the AI, because they are always slow through K-Tree. Very difficult actually if you don't know these corners. Very misleading set of corners. It looks like it's going right and then left, and then it doesn't. It does the opposite of what you think it's going to do. You have to really know that part of the course and where you're going. Down here, being a little bit cautious of this right-hander. And we're looking for the white wall on the right, and this was the braking point I'd kind of forgotten before. The bike's kind of a bit all over the place there under braking. You can definitely do that faster because you can go into the bus stop there on the right. You can use all the road there, but just don't want to risk it. Up into Parliament now, Parliament Square. traction control may need to go up a click, as I'm looking at the traction control and not at the road. We've got this left-hander here, taking in second gear usually for me. Oh no! Just lost, that's the first crash of the second lap. Just lost the bike there on the acceleration. Accelerating a little bit too hard. I might take the traction control up a click now, but we've lost a bit of grip on the tyres. We've come into Ramsey, get the bike slowed down, nice and controlled through there. No need for any risk. And yeah, John McGuinness and Dean Harrison have caught us up a little bit behind. I've gone into there too fast, haven't I? Another crash. We need to make sure that we don't go into a spiral now. And this is normally the thing. You're in such a flow, such a sort of concentration, and then when you crash, it can really break that. And you tend to then have a couple of crashes in a row. It looks like we've maintained our fourth position though. Careful into the gooseneck, because this is where we crashed on the first lap. It always tend to be, once you've crashed somewhere and you're doing a lot of laps like this, you kind of know, okay, well, that was a bit too hard. I was pushing a bit much. Next time I'm through there, I'm going to be a bit more cautious. Drop to fourth gear. Oh, there's another little bump there that I hadn't noticed. That might be John McGuinness there, hot on our heels. We'll be looking to retake this place, even though he started a good 20 seconds in front of us here. Pretty proud of that, actually. We managed to catch up 20 seconds on John McGuinness on a really rubbish bike that's not fully upgraded. Felt quite close to the wall that time. We're losing a little bit more grip now with the front tyre as well. It won't be too long before it is full yellow instead of green. We're off down the mountain mile. All the way down here, looking for the white wall. There's the white wall, there it is. Normally for this corner, we just need to be a little bit more aware that these tyres aren't going to give us the grip that we want. I wonder if fuel comes into it a little bit as well. I'm still thinking about the AI being so OP on some of those qualifying laps that we've done, where it calculates the fuel load on the AI to the absolute bare minimum that they need to do, and then gives them faster laps because they're low fuel. I don't really know. I haven't noticed a massive difference normally on fuel load in this game. Oh, suspension complaining a little bit there. Oh, that felt fast. Oh no, very risky, very, very risky through there. We do not need to be risking that much. The issue is, if you crash, you lose 7 or 8 seconds. And the time that you're going to gain by pushing through a corner like that, yeah, maybe you gain half a second or a couple of tenths. And yeah, you do that every single corner, you're going to gain time, you're going to gain a lot of time. But is it worth the risk? If you're going to crash and lose 7 or 8 seconds, you've then got to push through a lot of corners to make that worth it. Far better normally to be safe, smooth, planted. Just back up a little bit more through here. There we go. Got the bike through. We're almost at Craignabar again for the second time. Right side of the tyres, complaining quite a lot now about our treatment of them. Not feeling very confident under braking there into Craignabar that we're through. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Someone please correct me if it is wrong. entry again. Skidding across the road just a little bit. I used to love those noises in intermediate settings when we were still playing that. That noise would mean that you're like right at the edge of the grip that you can use. But, you know, the bike's not just going to slide out from under you. You're going to be fine. With realistic now, I am terrified of that little skidding noise, that one, that the tyres make. Because that means, yes, you're right on the edge of the grip. And at any moment, the bike could come toppling out from underneath you. Bit slow through signpost, that's fine. I know I'm slow through there. Not a corner that I enjoy. It's a corner I'm a bit scared of. We crashed through here as well, didn't we, before? So we're going to be nice and gentle into the entry. Coming up to Governor's Bridge. And Governor's Dip and the Nook. Crashed here as well. John McGuinness looking for a cheeky move through the Nook. That really would be something, wouldn't it? But John McGuinness is a gentleman, and he has allowed us to start our third lap unimpaired, unimpeached, and we are a full 26 seconds quicker than our first lap, which is great to see. 17-minute 55, I think that was. A lot less crashing, certainly. We're away here for lap number 3, which I'm going to commentate a little bit less. Focus on racing for a little bit. Oh, barely getting the bike slowed down into Courtbridge, just as I was saying. I was going to try and concentrate. Did the complete opposite. It'll be interesting to see, actually, just now. We're behind John McGuinness. Oh no, he's had another crash! John McGuinness hitting the barrier, and he is off. That is another crash for John McGuinness. And our tyres are now full yellow, but the good news is we're up into 3rd in the provisional rankings. Which is fantastic. Now I really am going to shut up and focus in for this third lap, and probably commentate the last lap a little bit more. You join us here at the end of lap 3. We had a pretty good lap 3, not quite as good as lap 2. We did have a few crashes in the end. The tyres are starting to really feel the pain now. You can see those red strips along the bottom of the front and rear tyres. We are running out of fuel, but it looks like we will be fine on fuel for the 4 laps. A little bit. One of the annoying things about this game is just the realism with the pit stops. We've had a bit of a something's happened there. Our brakes failed. That was really weird. Or maybe it was the lack of grip on the tyres. The brakes weren't doing anything there. That was really strange. We're going to see. My brakes have done something weird. We're having some bike troubles, or game troubles, or controller troubles. I'm not getting the same feeling I was with the brakes. Well, I mean, the good thing is, according to the provisional timings anyway, or we were 2nd. Now after those like 3 crashes in a row, we are 3rd. So we're going to be fighting here, hopefully still be in 2nd place by the end of this. Yeah, back up to 2nd now. Really strange though with the brakes. They're back to normal now, actually. It's like the haptic feedback on the DualSense controller stopped completely. And then, I guess maybe we locked the brakes back in that first corner. Very, very, very weird. But anyway, let's put that behind us. See if we can... I mean, the win isn't out of the question here. The AI looks like it's been really struggling with a lot of crashes. I mean, we're almost an hour now into this quite long, arduous race. It'll be interesting to see how the AI deal with They're failing tyres as well. It's just very annoying. We had that brake problem down the bottom of Bray Hill. Backing off a little bit there. Oh, it looks like maybe first place has had some issues because we are now, I mean, who knows whether to trust these provisional timings, but according to that little provisional thing on the top right, we are now in first position, which would be quite the turnaround. You know, the last couple of races were such a struggle. The grip just not there that we need right now. I'd be tempted to bump the traction control for 3. We just need to get around this last lap now. We are 1 lap away from TT glory. And yeah, the haptic feedback is gone again on my brakes. It's still there on the accelerator, but the brakes have gone. It's really strange. So I'm not getting that feeling that I'm used to having, the feedback that I'm used to having with that brake, where I press it and the button on the PlayStation controller, the DualSense, should be kind of resisting me, and it isn't. It's like it just goes straight down, and that's really off-putting. But I guess it wouldn't be a TT without, you know, some kind of like trouble. Normally it's some kind of you know, mechanical failure or bike issue. Here we're struggling with the PlayStation controller. And the haptic feedback's back again on the brakes. It's so weird. Oh my goodness! Had a huge high side there. We just got onto the tyre there a little bit too aggressively, maybe. Thought we might just save it, but we really need to avoid any more crashes if we want to try and go for the TT victory. It looks like we'll likely get a podium. Oh, I've completely messed that up. Forgot what corner I was on. That one you kind of need to do in 3rd gear. And then this one you can do a bit faster. Oh, almost losing the grip there again. The haptic feedback is going on my brakes again. Just about making it through Glen Helen. Yeah, I'm struggling now with the grip in the tyres. It's a very different feeling all of a sudden to our first lap, where you could just push through some of these corners, or you know, if you were struggling, you were almost falling over, you could just kind of get on the accelerator, get that grip back, get the wheels spinning back up again. Now that same tactic is not really working. We're going to back off a little bit here. Just about get the bike straightened up. That's such a fast little corner, that. And then drop another couple of gears here. The haptic feedback is back again. So strange. I wonder if that's a game issue or my controller going. I assume it's a game issue because I haven't had any other problems with my controller in any other games. Got a bit offline there, a bit close to the wall. I had a funny feeling we're in the wrong gear as well. Yeah, I didn't want to be around in 6th around there. It'd be interesting to see who the front runners are here. I don't imagine Dean Harrison or John McGuinness will be among them, because we've distanced them in the early stages. John McGuinness particularly. Dropped 2 gears through Bigara, which I don't normally do. Back up to 6th down this little bit, looking for the signs here at the top of the hill. Dropping 3 gears. Through, back into 4. Take the bike a little bit wide here, and then tight to those trees, struggling with the traction. You know what, I'm going to bump it to traction control 3, I think, just for this last half of this last lap. Into Kurt Michael now. I almost was a bit too quick through here on lap 3. because it messed me up on the exit. Somewhere around here, normally drop it to 5th. Try and stay on the accelerator all the way through there. Somewhere around here, dropping up to 4th. Backing off quite a lot and then back on the throttle early. Get the bike straightened up over the jump. Back up the gears. No, it's low-sided again. It's the grip loss is pretty savage right now. Some of those high-speed turns, you're just leaning the bike in, expecting the normal amount of grip to be there, and it absolutely isn't. Oh, touching the curb. Hopefully not going to be a penalty that. Oh, almost touching it again. You have to be so careful. That whole section there, past Kurt Michael, is quite tricky on the curbs. Usually that felt quite quick through there though. It's so interesting to see how the AI have really struggled today. It's gone pretty well for us, all things considered, because despite all the crashes we've had, haven't necessarily, I mean the laps have been pretty slow, I haven't felt slow compared to the AI. I feel like we've performed pretty well. Actually, the challenge of going to realistic physics settings, having 100% AI, using the Yamaha, was thinking the last couple of sessions that maybe it was a bit too much of a challenge that I set myself. Maybe, should have chosen a better bike or stayed in intermediate physics settings for a while longer until we finished this. But actually, today it has turned out all right in the end. Looks like we may get a happy ending to this fairy tale, but we will not know until we cross the line, until we see that checkered flag. Timing screens are saying second position at the moment, but it is going to be crucial, this last half a lap that we have ahead of us now, with the tyres wearing out and the clock ticking down. Who will be the one to take the TT glory? Oh, we've low-sided again. It's so hard now. The grip is just not there on the tyres at any kind of speed when you've got the bike fully leant over.
Lost audio. We have lost the audio.
Don't know if you guys can hear me. I think you will be able to, but you won't be able to hear the game. We've had, well, I've been messing about with that. We've now crashed. So I've lost the game audio. I don't know what has happened, but we were losing the haptics, and now we've lost the game audio. I don't know if my PlayStation has overheated or what's been happening, but now we've got to, I mean, we're 65 minutes into this race. We have to finish it. We've got to finish off this TT. We were doing so well, I felt like, against the AI, even if we were pretty slow by the usual standards. Coming into Parliament Square now, and it is such a struggle because you can't hear the bike. I can't hear the tyre squeals. That's probably going to give us a penalty. Now we've been on the... I can't hear anything. It's going to be such a struggle now, especially, I mean, the tyres have gone. Everything has been against us this session. I mean, the one thing that we can pray, I can't. It's so difficult when the game's gone silent like this. You have no feedback. John McGuinness is catching us up now. I'm just so used to having that feedback from the engine, from the tires, everything. You're used to the ambient noise. Oh, it's Dean Harrison actually, who's been catching us there. I think we might have just caught him out there on that corner. So we're just going to have to try and silently pick out our braking points and just be super cautious through this last part of the lap here. We're now coming up into the mountain. I don't know when the bike's hitting the rev limiter, anything. It's crazy. I mean, there have been audio issues in this game in the past. We have had issues with the audio cutting out, but not for a long time, I didn't think. Not for ages. I'm pretty sure that they had fixed most of the audio issues in this game quite a long time ago. But I think the full race has been a bit too much for it today. It seemed like Dean Harrison is now hot on our heels on this last part of the lap. We'll see if we can distance him a little bit through the mountain. But I'm absolutely shocked that we've had so many problems. Like, there's been so much drama this race. I didn't expect it at all. As we come up here to the memorial, through there, it looks like Dean Harrison's had a problem because I don't see him behind me anymore. I don't know what happened to him. And we come through now to the mountain mile, which should be a little bit more of a simple affair. Despite the audio issues, the tires are really screaming out. I mean, we've had so many crashes this last lap. I would be super surprised if, I mean, the live timings, it could be fine because I think we're out front. Like, there's no riders in front of us here. We started third. We overtook 2 riders, so it's not like we're second on the road. It's not like that's what the live timings would be showing. Try and work our way around this corner. This is normally the ones I kind of rely on the feedback from the tires. It's just telling me how much grip I've got there. This is very, very difficult. I mean, I really didn't think this was not the day for the can I play the TT game silently challenge. That wasn't the time for it, and it's so late into the race. If we'd had these audio issues, in the first lap, or even like the first half of the second lap, that would have been okay. I might have just restarted the whole thing and just been like, right, maybe today isn't the day for it. But to have them, 60 a whole hour of racing we've done now to get to this point, we've got to finish it off. That corner has caused us more than one crash today. I think running the suspension settings so low like I do, yes, you get faster lean angles, you get better lean angle, but the bike does struggle on some corners like that, and yeah, we just struggling so much here now. I wonder if we are gonna end up not picking up that second place. We might well be third here or even fourth by the end of this. We're so close really to the last part of the course. We've just got the last bit of the mountain to do around Brandywell here. Just trying to be so cautious. It's so difficult now. It's everything. Everything is against us. It's so strange playing this game without any noise. You're used to that whine of the engine going on, that drone of the engine, the shifting up and down gears. The back wheel is really not happy now. You can see it is full red all the way around. I don't think it's possible to get a puncture, but I do imagine that there is a grip penalty for how worn your tires are. I have bumped up the traction control to try and account for that a little bit. And that wasn't too bad through there. And this has not been particularly fast. It hasn't been particularly clean, but just the low siding is terrible. And the tires have proper gone. Dean Harrison might have an opportunity to get past us here. As we come down here towards Craignabar. Got quite a good exit there though, and we're just going to need to be super cautious. I mean, this is one of the corners that I think at the best of times seems to have quite low grip, so we're going to be nice and cautious through there. Dean looking for an opportunity, sniffing at our heels for a way through, but can't find it. I forget how much I rely on the audio of just the whine of the engine hitting near the rev limiter for when to shift up. In some ways where to shift down as well, down to 5th gear here, trying to stick with the road. Dean Harrison's gone very, very fast through there. He's gone through, but do remember he started 10 seconds ahead of us. So he's going to have to put quite the distance on us here before the line. Oh, no. Having said that, we may just crash and he may well get that position back anyway. Oh, it's such a shame. It's such a shame. And to think, like, you know, if we're going to do a superbike career mode, which I'd like to do, I mean, that's 6 laps. We could be, you know, an hour and a half into a race and have these kind of issues. I mean, that would be even worse. Oh, signpost. So careful through there. There is zero grip from these tires right now. They are really screaming out for some relief. But what will be some relief to me is that we are almost now at the end of this very, very painful TT experience. I had so much fun. The first 3 laps actually were fantastic. We had a lot of fun on those laps, to be fair. Really pushing and getting used to the realistic physics settings, pushing, you know, a little bit harder each lap. We've lost it again in the Nook, and yeah, that is now down to 3rd place. That'll probably be Dean Harrison taking 2nd place now. So we had trouble with the haptic feedback on the controller. We've now had audio issues. The tires have been given out, but we have now finished our TT. We will come across the line, hopefully for 3rd place here. Or yeah, maybe not. All the way down in 10th. So yeah, that's why I said never trust the live timings. We were down in 10th in the end. I did say I wanted to finish in the top 10, to be fair. Though, what it looks like it's done is exactly what I had said earlier. What it's done, hopefully you're not getting those terrible clicks I'm getting in my ear every time I'm moving something now. It has done our times, because you can't see the average speed or the max speed for all these other riders. I think it's calculated all of these riders on their actual lap times that they did on the course, and all these guys ahead of us, it's just calculated as if they had done, you know, their best laps, which is kind of insane to me, but it is what it is in the end. We struggled so much there at the end. That last lap, struggled with the haptic feedback on the controller at the beginning of that lap, and then the second half, no audio. But we've done it. We've got through it. That is now the end. Yeah, failed to get on the podium. Try again. Yeah, we did our best. I think we did our best with what we had. The bike wasn't good. The bike was slow. We've struggled this season. Now I'm thinking we'll go on to a superbike season, which should be interesting to see how that goes. And then maybe we'll do a 2023, which is the DLC, the expansion for this game. Do seasons in those for the Supersport and Superbikes as well. Oh, what a time of it we've just had. I mean, 74 minutes of hard racing, and technical issues have kind of ruined it. But bit of a shame in the end, and a shame that the game just kind of calculates times instead of actually using the times that the AI would have been. Maybe what we should have done is not ended the session. We kind of know that for next time is I'll just wait for the times to come in, wait for all the real times to come in, rather than having the game calculate what it thinks the riders are going to be doing. Yeah, well, that is it. That is the end of our TT journey for the moment on the Supersports. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and see you next time.